In this video, we're going to create our home view. So under views, go ahead and right click and create a new file, and I'll call this home view. Now, one thing I like to do is organize these into subsections based on the controller. For example, if the home had another page called about, then it would be a little bit scattered if we had all the controllers and different views mixed. So I like to create a new folder. I'll just call this home. And I know it's the default page or the index page because I just call it the same name as the controller. Additionally, we can delete this welcome message. Okay. So in the home view, what we're going to do is create a form to log in. So let's just start out with a form tag, and we're going to do it the Bootstrap style. And what we're going to do is create two control groups. And this creates a wrapper for us to nicely sort our input elements. And we'll start with a label. I'll say label class equals control label. And we'll say login. And then we need the actual control, so div class equals controls. Okay. And then input type equals text. Name equals login, and let's make it a little bigger, so we'll say class equals input extra large. Okay. What we have to do before we can even preview this is go to our controllers in our home controller. We need to actually load this view in here, so I'll just copy this line. I will load the home/home view like that. And refresh the page, and it looks like it's trying to load it from ink. I got the path wrong. Gotta erase this one right here. Try again, and there we go. There's an extra large controller. Okay, now in order to make this look a little more correct, we need to add a class to the form and call this form horizontal. And I'm also going to add a method equals post. And the action, we don't know yet, so I'll just put a question mark. We're also going to want a password, so I can just select this group of text, duplicate the line, and this will be password. Password. We're creating a login form because in our application, the user is going to go to the home page. You could display whatever you decide on there, but from that point, we want them to be able to log into a protected area. And that's where the fun's going to happen. So a lot of creativity is going to be left up to you. I'm just giving you the roundabout of some Twitter Bootstrap to make it funner along the way. Lastly, we need our submit button. I'll just duplicate this once more. And we don't need a label here. And this will be a submit. And we'll say the value is login. And the class for this will actually be button dash primary, a big blue button. I'm going to want to add self-closing tags after the inputs. Okay, so refresh that, and that looks a lot better. What we're also going to do is use the rows to center this out in Bootstrap. So up here, let's say div class equals row, and we'll end it at the bottom. And I suppose I'll tab this over since it's a child of the row now. And in here we'll say div class equals span 6, and this is the grid system. And let's refresh and see if that actually changed anything. It didn't, because we don't have a master container that shoves us to the center. So I would like this centered. What I'm going to do is create a wrapper. So in my ink header, I'm going to say div class equals wrapper. Okay. And in the footer, we need to end this div. So sometimes it helps to make a comment like this: start wrapper. And since we're closing it in another file, we'll say end wrapper. Okay. Now the footer and the header I'm not going to worry about just yet. We'll polish those up. And we need to add a style definition for that class. So in our public CSS, style CSS, we're going to make a dot wrapper, and let's make it a width of 980 pixels. Say margin 0 auto. Okay, and refresh. And technically that's centered. You see we have a span here of 6 across. Well, there it is. Well, that's the form. The span 6 is right there. So it's about the exact right size. And I think that's good enough for now. We can improve on all the cosmetics later.